Hello, so this is Julian from notionb2b.com. All right, um, so we have a great news, right? Not me, but the Notion apps team. They just released recently a major milestone, right? So they are now able to support relation, right? Relation, so in Notion, so this is basically the fact that you're able to relate, link, you know, one object, like a project, for example, with another object, like a task. So you can say, hey, my project contains multiple tasks, or my task is assigned to one user or multiple user. So this is this kind of relation, right, that you do uh, in Notion, and now which are supported by Notion apps. So this is what I want to show today. I want to show you a bit, how to use that, you know, and I think it makes really Notion apps like a great application. By the way, just love the app, Notion apps. I'm not from the team. Uh, so I'm just sharing that because, I'm using that from some of my applications. And I found that very useful. So let me share that with you. So let's go right in that. So what we are going to build today, okay, is basically this application, right? So my idea is, just build that. So along the way, I'm going to explain what I'm doing, and hopefully you can understand a bit how to use a relationship in Notion apps. So this is the Notion apps, right? And here you can see you have one screen, which is listing my project, okay, and another screen which is listing task. So let me go here. So basically you list task in this other screen, right? If I go to my project, I can select project one, and I will be able to see the detail of my project and the task related to this project. And this is something that wasn't possible to do before. And now you can do that. Okay, so I can list the task and I can even click on one task, and display whatever information I have for this task in Notion, right? Including the deadline, including the user. Okay, and if I'm in the task, again, I can list my task. I can indicate what is the project for this task. You can see here. And if I click on the task, again, I can have some data about the task. I will come back to that because we are going to rebuild all that. So, we will see that. And I will see, for example, I have assigned this task to two user, for example. Okay, so let's go, let's build that. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to go to this whole screen, right? And I'm going to, um, you know, to delete everything. uh, so, I'm here, project details, project list, boom, no more project list. Task, so again, I need to go to all screen here, right? And I can see this one, I don't really care about that, so I'm going just as well to delete that. Up, delete. And now I'm going to delete my last screen, which is my task list here. So again, boom, boom. I have no screen anymore. So the app is fully empty now. Okay, so before going to that, let me show you just the relationship, right? So we can understand what we are going to build. I mean, that's your data structure basically. So you can see, I mean, you have a user, right? I mean, you have project, and project, you can have multiple tasks. So you can see you can between 0 to multiple tasks for a project. And the task is assigned to only one project, right? You can have a task that is assigned to two different projects. No, task is assigned to only one project. Then you have the user, and a user can have 0 to multiple project, and the project could be assigned to one or multiple user, right? So that's the relation, right? You can have multiple user working on one project. Let's say, well, it depends on your business, right? Your business case. Maybe in your case you want one owner, so you don't want to have multiple users. It depends on the role, right, of the user. But well, just keep in mind that just relation, right? So project and user are related, and user can have has also multiple tasks or no task at all. So this is what we see here. And my task could have, need to have at least one user assigned or multiple user assigned. So this is the kind of relation that we need to have. And this is what is reflected into Notion, right? So now I have my user, right, my task and my project. So this is my database, right, in Notion. Okay, and you can see that the user, is assigned, can have multiple projects and can have multiple tasks. So this is what we just showed before. And a task is assigned to one or multiple user. So this is this relation that is illustrated here. And again, the task is assigned only to one project. So this is why what you can see here. By the way, just about relationship quickly, how do you express, okay, it can be assigned to multiple users, but it can be assigned only to one project. It just, when you set up your property, when you are going to say your relation, so here you see it's a user, it's a relation type of property, right? And you are going to limit, right? So here I don't have any limit, so it means that I can have multiple users, right? So, and here, for the project, when I edit the property, I can have only one project assigned. So this is why I have a limit of one page. So this is how you define, the type of relationship you have between one or multiple. Okay, so I don't want to go too much on that. You can have a look to Notion course or, to see the relation property. Because what I want to focus on is more on Notionapps. So, but just, it's important to understand the setup, right? So this is for task and project, same things, right? So you can have multiple users assigned to one project, and you can have multiple tasks assigned to one project. So this is, what we have just indicated here, right? Multiple tasks could be assigned to one project, and multiple users could be assigned to one project. Okay, so now that we have our table, right, or database setup, we are going to configure that into Notionapps. Okay, so let's go to Notionapps. So what I'm going to do here, well, again, don't want to spend too much time on that, but when you set up, you configure Notionapps, you need to indicate which table, which database you're going to use. So you have here your three table, right? Projects, task, and user selected for this project. Okay, so that's the prerequisite. So now let's see how to build the screen. Okay, so first we want to list the project. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on new screen, and I just want for no update into the application. You can select to update items, right? But here for this video, I'm just going to use the view mode, right? So you can only view things into the application, but update obviously is possible. So for this screen, what I want to do is just view items. Okay, so I want to view my list of projects. So I'm clicking on that, creating that, and boom, I have my first screen, right? What I'm going to do to customize that a bit, so I can say, okay, my project is going to be, well, let's put this home. And I'm going to put just project as a name. For now, you can't see it, but once I have two screens, you will see that on the button, right? Project. So this is your first screen, right? And if you want to customize the content, we are going to go here, right? So by default, it's going to set up some data here, but I don't want exactly this data, so I want to keep it simple. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to list my project, and I'm going to remove description. I'm just selecting that, and even don't want any time frame. Just list my project. For some reason it's putting project 2.1, so maybe I want to sort that a bit differently. So let's do that. Yeah, I'm good with that. Okay. So nothing special for this screen. Listing the list of projects. Let's publish. Okay. So now let's go to project 1. Okay. So this is where it becomes interesting, right? So on this one, I'm going to call the page project details. Okay, so this is what you see on the top here. So you have the name, I'm good with that. You have the time frame, perfect, for my project. And then you see you have these task formulas, right? So what is these task formulas? Um, so this is what I was using eventually before having the relationship, right? So basically, Notion apps was able to read that this task formula, and what is doing this task formula is just a formula that say list tasks. So basically, it's going to do exactly. If I remove that, boom, you just indicate task. Just taking the task relationship, that you have here, that exists already. And if you put task relationship, the formula will just display the task, exactly the same as this field, okay? But before, Notionapps wasn't able to understand relation. So he wasn't able to read this relation field, relation property. So he was able, so this is why I needed, if I wanted to show something, I needed to use formula or eventually rollup, and have separate column, to be able to display content related to this related feed, right? I hope you follow me. Okay, so, but the problem with that, right? You can see here, there is not a good way. It doesn't show that very well, right? Just showing that as plain text. So then you need to apply maybe some, things to your formula to separate things, and well, not very good actually option, but it was just an possible option if you want to display, related information, right? But now it changed, right? So the good things now is that you have this list. So this is a new component, right? This is a new component, um, you know, provided with a relation support from Notionapps. Let's do that like just quickly, so you can see that. So I'm just going to delete this one, confirm. Okay, let's maybe, because maybe this one is a bit confusing, so let's remove everything, and we go step by step. I mean, put everything by default. So project one, I mean, there is a description, so no, not a big deal. So I'm going to put this description here, maybe just after the time frame and description, and just let this task formula, well, just for reference. And now I'm going to use a relation component, right? So I'm going to click on plus, and I'm going to list task. You can see I have another component, because in my project I have a relation with the user table as well. So if I want to use all the users that are assigned to this project, I can do that by clicking this. But for the time being, let's click on list task. Boom. So you can see here you have your list of tasks. So I'm going to go here, okay? I have it here, and let's configure that, maybe in a better way. So you can see I have my task, I have the name of the, so this is my property. I have the name of my task, I have the email related to that. So I don't want this one. Okay, I don't want this one. What I want is a deadline. Okay, so you can see in this list now, I'm in project. So you can see here, this is from this table, agency project, and I'm viewing one item, right? And I can put data, for related to this table. But now I'm putting this component, which is a list of tasks, and now I can have the property, that are part of this table, task. And you can see the table is agency task. So, well, this is what is absolutely powerful, right? Now you can really use, the property from the related table. So, okay, so here I just put the name, deadline, I'm good with that. I don't want the project, I don't want this one. Do I want, yeah, maybe I want to know who's the people that are assigned to this task, right? So maybe let's add that to the caption. Okay, so here I'm in project, I call the relation task that I have in my project table, and by calling a task, I'm able to call a relation that are within the task table, in this case, user. Okay, and I'm going to select user. okay? And if I want to put the name and not the email, right, I can do that. But let's do that, by the way. We got the people. So you see, you have like relation of relation, right? So yeah, so that's very good, actually. I love it. Okay, so now that we have that, and you can see, by the way, you can see name come from the table agency user. Okay, so now we have like data coming from the project table, data coming from the task table, and data coming from the user table. And because all is related, well, you see, you can use all. Uh, okay. Another thing which is very useful is that you can say what happened on click. Before, it was not possible to do that, right? Now, you can say click, go to screen, okay? And you see, now you can click on that, and boom, you have your task detail. So you can navigate, right, in your relation, let's say. So let's call that task detail. Oops. Okay. And here I'm going to, again, to put the name. I don't want this one. No, don't want this one. Okay, so I want the deadline. And I want the user assigned to that. So here I'm on the task table, I would say. And now I'm using another list, the relation with the user, right? So now relation user, so I can select what data of this relation I want to use. So I want to use the name, I want to use the email of the user database. And I think with that I'm good, actually. And now, so I'm going to click on plus, and I'm going to use the component text. Okay, so I use component text. It's here. It's here. Text. By default, it's setting, selecting email, but I don't want email, right? You see, what I want is project and project name. And you see, now I just have one thing, which is the name of my project, not a list. Just give me, the data, one field, from the related table, right? Project in this case. And I'm going to call it project. And this one I'm going to say, I'm going to put it maybe somewhere, I don't know. What if I do that? No. Maybe this one, task one, project one, deadline. Well, deadline, project one. Well, we can keep it like this, let's say, okay? All right, so we saw, how to do a list, how to grab just one data. And that was for my list of projects. So now let's quickly, I think I'm already show, let's remove this task formula because, we don't need that. And let's do now, eventually you can just stop here. Once you have your project, people can select a project, they can select a task and they see what they have to do. But, maybe you want another screen which just lists the task. Okay, so this one is project list. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go to a screen. I'm going to add a new screen. I'm going to select the task table. And again, view item. Okay, done. Okay, and you see now I have my project here and my task here at the button. So what I'm going to do is remove that. I'm going to select an icon, which is maybe this one. Okay, and here I'm good with that. So I'm going to customize my screen. So here I have your task, deadline. Do I want something else? Yeah, a project, no? So project again, relation. Okay, you can see this icon, that's the relation. And yeah, so let's select the project name. Okay, here we go. So I think I'm good with this one. What else? Yeah. So now I can select my task one, poof. And well, again, it's putting a bit everything. So we need to remove what we don't want. So I have my name of the project, don't want this one. I have the deadline. Again, we have the list of projects, but as I said before, we just have one project. So let's again put just the field. So let me do that. So again, that's the same as before. So just selecting the text. Okay, I have it here. Okay, I'm going here. Project formula, no. Don't want project formula. I want just project name. I put that project. Okay. All right. So name, I'm going to put that here. And in this case, yes, I want the list of user. I don't want this view email. Okay, just want the list of user. And in this list of user, I'm good, I think, with adding the name and the email. So these are the assignee. By the way, maybe I want to say assignee, no? As assigned to. Okay, and I have my list. Okay. Okay, I think that's it actually. I think that's it. So I have my task now. Okay, I can select my task. I can see my project. I can see who is assigned to this task. Again, for me, that's really a big milestone. Making Notionapps really useful. For example, to build like a client portal. I saw in my previous video, you can have a look to that. Explain how you can filter. So that people can only see your client, for example, can only see the projects they are assigned to. Have a look to the other video because it is explained. So with that, you can filter. You can see the tasks that are only assigned to you, not the other tasks for other people. And you can benefit from this fantastic relation property and navigate through your data basically. Okay, I hope it is useful. Thanks a lot. If you want to subscribe, you know how to do it. I will appreciate if you like this video, if you can put a like. Wonderful. And with that, wish you a great time with Notion and Notionapps. Bye bye.